each keep a professional journal, as we mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about your professional journals.
My professional journals. Well, here's one stack of them. And this is my life, my professional life, really. And I have a table of contents. I make a table of contents at the end. I number all the pages. In the table of contents, I have the date, the activity, and the page number, so that I can look things up. This goes with me to every single meeting I go to, and it goes to conferences, and it allows me to sort of keep all of the things that are going on in my brain about my life and my thinking and my responsibilities and my writing in one place, and I can go back and find those ideas. And when we're writing, when Joanne and I wrote the book, what we did is we went through and photocopied all the pages that we had, or I did. I photocopied all the pages I had that were about journal keeping that we'd kept, and we used those as fodder for ideas in the book. So they were very helpful that way. What about yours?
And as I said, mine is an inspiration from Dannelle. I thought, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that because, I'd get to my office and I'd be on my way to a meeting and I'd go, where's that folder? Where's that folder? I don't know where that folder is. And this way, everything is in the same place. And I do love that. It really does help me to stay organized. And if I want to look back and see, okay, what happened in the last time that this particular committee met, it's always in here. And I can find it, and I also keep papers in the back that are important to me that I don't want to lose, and if I file them somewhere, I may not know where I filed them. And I have to-do lists in here and telephone lists of people I need to call, and I just really feel like this. I have contact information. I've got this sticky I see on the front of somebody's contact information. It's one of my students, actually. And so I think this really does help me stay organized, although here's a airplane reservation, etc. I don't do the table of contents like Dannelle does. And in fact, in the front of this is the schedule of classes for a particular semester.
Oh.
So I know who's teaching what and where I'm supposed to be and all that kind of thing.
Right.
So I don't like this. This is the first time I've ever used this lab notebook. And although I like the grid paper, we've used that before, both of us, but I like your stiff ones much better. It's just when I went to the university bookstore, this was all they had, was this floppy one.
Yeah.
And it's a little harder to manage because it's floppy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I recently bought, when I was at a conference, this little Moleskine book, which has, as you can see, a way to close it, has place to mark where you are, and these beautiful blank pages. And I kept notes from the whole conference in here, and also wrote some ideas for papers I wanted to write, etc. So this was really, it was nice to have this small one to carry around with me at the conference.
And I think what you're reminding me of, in the book, we had some cases of different kind of way people kept journals. And in their professional life, people had a variety of ways that they used journals to help them address different issues in their lives. Like one person who was an engineer kept 6 journals, and one of them was just computer programs, new computers he bought because he was a mechanical engineer, and computers were a large part of his work. So
one for each research project that he was running.
Right.
One for him being department chair. He said he had 6 active journals.
Active journals.
I was impressed by.
I was too. That'd be a lot for me in my professional life. But he felt that it really, and then he had one just for being department chair. That was really helpful for him because he could then remember what were the expectations, who came to visit him, and what kinds of things transpired as being a department chair.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's another way. Both of us, though, in our professional journals, keep them chronologically. They're just day in and day out. Absolutely. And you can go back and find what you want and reflect on it. And I also use a 2-column method. I don't know if you do that.
Yeah, I do some, but you do it way more often than I do. Talk about the 2 columns.
2 columns. So the 2 columns are the side column and then a central column. The side column is like the shore, or or the bank of a river, and this is like the river that's flowing down of information of whatever goes on in the external world. The column is sort of my reflections, it's the date things are happening, it's my to-do list, it's all the different kinds of things that come up when I'm at a meeting that I want to remember and just want to keep as placeholders. So the columns are very integral to the way I use the journal.
Well, as I said in my personal journal, it is mostly about my personal life, but I also would write about my professional life I just write about whatever comes up.
Mm-hmm.
My professional journal, I would say that I write about, I do free writes with my students, same as you, and then I write about what's going on in meetings. Sometimes I do planning for research projects or educational projects. I can do that in there, write down what I want to do, or to-do lists of things I want to make sure that I don't forget. And the same goes when I go to conferences. I sometimes brainstorm all the things I want. When I leave a conference, I'm all fired up, you know. And I have all these ideas of things I want to do, and I put those in my journal. I can do that on the airplane on the way home.
Good airplane activity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I often do the table of contents on airplanes, which is kind of going through the pages and numbering the pages and then going back and writing the table of contents. I write my table of contents after I've finished my journal, not while I'm keeping it. And what it provides me with usually my journals are 3 to 6 months in one journal, professional journal. It provides me with an opportunity to think about what I've been doing when I write that table of contents. It's a really good reflective process. Oh my gosh, that committee took so many meetings, or that one, I'm wondering where my time went. Oh, I know now. I went to the Institutional Assessment Council for the last year and a half, you know? And so it just kind of reminds me, okay, is that where I want to be, and how much time am I doing with that? And that's why other things are challenges for me. And so it really is a good review and reflection. Just creating the table of contents is a good